Yo, it's your boy, the HughEMC, man. Dropping some knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And I've been wanting to make a response to this dude, FD Signifier, ever since I seen him post a video where he's talking about he took a queer theorist class and just sat back in the classroom and didn't ask any questions. Now, I've read Judith Butler, Gail Rubin, I've read some of Pat Califia, and other queer theorists, and if you ain't got no questions about that shit, something wrong with you. Because queer theory is an ideology that teaches the normalization of PDF fileism, if you understand what I'm saying. But I'm just saying that to lay the groundwork to give you an idea of this dude's FD Signifier's leftist liberal thinking. This is how far gone he is with this shit, right? But here I'm responding to his commentary about Joe Budden, Mark Lamont Hill, and this whole episode with Queen's Flip, and let's just peep out what he's saying. Let's peep what he's saying. I'm gonna respond to it.
Then out of the blue, he pops up on the Joe Budden podcast, and initially people are like, what's up with that? The Joe Budden podcast was much closer to being part of the right-wing hip-hop podcast pipeline.
Do you hear this motherfucker? The right-wing podcast hip-hop pipeline? Joe Budden? He goes on to talk about Matt Hoffa too. What is you talking about, man? You know what I'm saying? It's one thing I can't stand about a lot of elitist liberals. Anything that is contrary to what they believe, the liberal orthodoxy, they want to label it right wing. Man, you call it hip hop, icons right wing, man, because they disagree with your foo-fooism. Let's listen some more, man.
Up there with Math Hoffa, they talked to Kevin Samuels a minute ago. The Asian hip hop podcast community, a lot of them dudes, I don't know if I'm not going to say all of them are awful dudes, but they don't have good politics.
So brothers got bad politics because they disagree with you. You the dude that set up in a queer theorist class, didn't ask no questions, an ideology that teaches pro-PDF fileism, the normalization of PDF fileism. You didn't ask any questions, and brothers like Joe Budden and Matt Hoffa got bad politics? I lump myself into that. I consider you insulting me too. We should continue to listen to this brother.
And they create a safe space for this red pill undertones. So it was kind of like a weird combination, people thought initially, but then Mark started really doing some good work. And he balanced that shit out. The left in general, but specifically the black left, is so far behind on talking to regular black people.
Okay, brother, I agree with you here wholeheartedly, man. You know what I'm saying? Black, liberal, elitist, leftists definitely have issue with talking to real ninjas, but FD seems to be oblivious to the reason why. It's his arrogant state of mind. You automatically assume people got bad politics because they disagree with you. When I know you haven't properly dissected the politics, you know what I'm saying? Because everything that you spew is a left-wing liberal talking point, but I digress.
Engaging with regular black people. Moderate to awful politics. You know what I mean? The black left, the black intellectual class, whether it be Jack and Jill's types, black excellence types, or a lot of radical black leftists from a variety of different economic backgrounds, all of us do a poor job of engaging niggas with real niggas from the environments we came from that may have bullied us, that maybe we didn't feel like we fit into all the time.
Hey, look, he said it again, man. You know what I'm saying? Revealing where his thinking is rooted at, man. That bullied us. Maybe we didn't fit in. And Fillmore, we got a saying, man. It's like you didn't come outside. You stayed on the porch. You was looking out the window when everybody else was out in the streets, man. You went the long way to get home and shit, man. Instead of walking through and taking your lunch the way that you were supposed to as a young man, you dig? You ran. You know what I'm saying? You got your pockets checked. You know what I'm saying? When you was in the beanery line at lunch. You know what I'm saying? Never fought back, But And like FD Signifier says, man, they bullied us. Maybe we didn't fit in. So I think a lot of these educated liberal elitist brothers have a lot of resentment to regular black people, i.e. real ninjas, and they act that resentment out by looking down on us, trying to talk down on us, and I think that kind of skews their view and alters the objectivity when we're talking about situations, especially socio-political, so-called educated things that's supposed to be there, that's supposed to be their wheelhouse. We don't supposed to know this better than them, right? Everything FD Signifier kind of displayed to me when he got to talking about Jack and Jill, black excellence, and then he immediately went to, the leftists and all that. Like, he grouped himself and all them men with them black elitists, them bougie ass niggas that think they better than us. He lumped himself in there with them. You know what I'm saying? With that talented titters and bullshit, It's like, man, y'all better listen to Malcolm say it. You know what I'm saying? And listen to Dr. King's last speeches. Integrating into a burning house. The white liberal is the most dangerous thing in the Western Hemisphere. Motherfuckers just ignore that. You know what I'm saying? You better dissect that, understand that, because when I hear these black leftists and liberals talk, they're speaking a European ideology. Somehow they think it's not European. You know what I'm saying? It is just as European as the colonial mindset that they're trying to rebel against. But later for that. That's a whole nother cipher, man. Shalom, assalamu alaikum, hotel, peace. I'm out of here, man.